What's going on, everybody? I'm here, Brad here, back again for another Let's Talk Jurassic tonight. We're going to be talking all kinds of Jurassic stuff. I'm sure you guys are aware. You know, it's probably in the description or in the title or the image that you guys saw as we were getting set up here. But yeah, we're going to be talking all kinds of fun stuff. So welcome. We're having a nice laid back live stream here tonight. Just chilling, just talking Jurassic together. If you guys want to talk about some stuff, let me know. Let me know in the chat over there. Welcome to everybody in the chat. Let's see. I'm going to see who's over here. Let's see. Oh, Tim is here early. I went from missing it by an entire day to early. That's funny. And Jurassic Souls, I guess you made it. Did you watch the show with your family? Did you watch, or are you watching this with your family? What's up, family? We got Paleoraptor, Aaron Elliott here, Jurassic World fan. What's up? Henry Stick, Espinoraptor, Jared's here. What's up, Jared? All right, thanks, guys. Like I said, if you have, oops, I just lost my live stream dashboard. But if you have any kind of comments, questions, thoughts, topics, whatever you want to talk about, be sure to just drop them in the chat, and I'll go ahead and try to discuss them as much as we can. We do have a few things that we want to discuss here tonight. I did reach out to Twitter and to Instagram, and I just wanted to see what you guys wanted to talk about, because I had some things written down, but I wanted to see what you guys had to say. Let me turn this off, my watch. I don't know if it's making noise. I can't hear it because I have headphones on. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. That just made it worse. There's my phone. I found it. All right, so tonight, a lot of people wanted to talk about Sam Neill's comments that he made recently. So if you weren't aware, Sam Neill made a bunch of comments. I think it was via Variety. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about some people wanted Dominion predictions. I don't know how deep we'll get into that, but it's just one of those things I feel like we end up talking circles in because, you know, at this point we're so far out and who really knows. Also, we want to talk about E750. A lot of requests for what's in Dr. Wu's lab, what is in the tank, what's, you know, all that good stuff as far as what is going on in Camp Cretaceous at the end of that season there. So E750, we're going to be talking about that. And then, you know, just some mentions of the potential art book. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about hunting down the Spinosaurus toy from Mattel. So it's a packed night. Hopefully we can get to all these things. I usually, when I plan out all these lists, I usually want to go for like about an hour, and then I look at the clock and it's been 2 hours and 40 minutes, and I'm like, okay, probably should wrap it up. So I'm going to try not to do that tonight. I'm going to really, really try hard not to do that tonight. This, I hope this won't be a 6-hour podcast tonight, or a 6-hour video. Wouldn't put it past us. We have done 7 hours before, so yeah. So let's get into some of the stuff that we're going to talk about. So, like I said, if you have any comments, any topics you guys want to discuss, please put them in there. Also, just in case you were wondering, I guess we've been taking a few weeks off of the podcast. So the podcast itself, if you guys are unaware, is a different thing than this. It's not the video portion. It's audio, mostly audio only. Sometimes I'll upload some stuff here, but not often. But it's all on the podcast feed, so you can go download that on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible. It's on Audible. You can read the Jurassic Park podcast audio book. I don't know how that works. But yeah, you can find it anywhere out there. Our website, JurassicParkPodcast.com. But go download that. But anyway, we've taken a few weeks off since we kind of went very crazy with all the Camp Cretaceous Season 2 stuff throughout January. So to start February, we're like, yeah, let's relax a little bit. I think we're going to get back to it with the Jurassic Wire. So I'm excited about that because I don't discuss a lot of Jurassic topics with my co-host for that segment, Aaron Beyer, prior to us doing this. doing The Wire. Like so I have no idea what he thinks about E750 or Sam Neill's comments. Or so a lot of times we do end up touching on a lot of the same subjects since they're the big topics of the month. But I like getting his input, and I like hearing what he has to say. So that'll be at the end of the month. Probably that'll be maybe the first episode of the month is the last episode of the month. And then hopefully we'll get it kicked off with the Jurassic mailbag again. But yeah. Oh, huge shout out to Jurassic Souls. Thank you so much, man. You're always so kind. You're always so kind with the super chats, man. Oh, and look at this. Thank you, man. It says, hello, can't stay for the whole thing, but since a new Mementosaurus was recently described, I want to know what you think of Mementosaurus and if you would like to see it pop up in Dominion. Oh, man. I can't believe you made me say that, Mementosaurus, and I got it right, and it wasn't too bad. What do I think about it? I think it's pretty awesome. When I was a kid and The Lost World came out, that was not really anything I was aware of. I didn't really think of what dinosaur was in that movie when they're kind of, going on the game trail and they're hunting around and going through the legs and all that good stuff. I didn't even know what that was for the longest time. And then to find out that, oh, it's not your typical, Apatosaurus, Brachiosaurus type dinosaur. I was like, oh, that's awesome. And then, recently, even in the past, I don't know, like the past year or so, right? We got some more pictures from, where did they come from? Like Stan Winston's school or something like that. So yeah, I loved that, like, those images that we saw, like featuring like a really good, like, look at the paint job and everything like that. So that was really cool. I don't think I have them here on my computer anymore. Let me see if I can bring that up for you guys really quick. But, oh, where did my tabs go? Here's my tabs. Here we go. Trying to spell this real. Okay, I got it. All right, let's see. Oh, I spelled it wrong. After all that, you know what? I Googled it, and then you got Stan Winston's school comes up, but then one of the first video that pops up is our video. The sculpt was revealed. So let's see here, and there's a picture. Let me try to bring up these pictures. Why are we the second picture that pops up? It looks like. All right, let me put this up here so you guys can see it. All right, so here's well, that's a look right there. There you got the Mementosaurus right there on a pedestal. It looks so beautiful. It looks so sweet. I love it so much. And you have another image here, which was, hey, that's ours. We made that for, well, it's not our picture. I mean, technically, it's Stan Winston, their picture, but we just repurposed it for the podcast. But I think this is the actual picture here. Look at that. It looks beautiful. The one off to the right, of course. It looks so good. Like the detail and everything in that sculpt is so super good. And this picture, pretty big one actually. Oh yeah, we already looked at this. I love it. Oh yeah, here's another one from Outpost Twitter. Same picture basically, but just see somebody working on it. So would I like to see something like this again? Yeah, man, I would love to. I would love to see this again. Here's a nice little look at concept art from The Lost World, it looks like. Just look, I love that like whip tail. That is super cool. That is really cool. Oh, look at this guy. Honestly, that's what I want to see in Dominion. I want to see that one. The straightest head to tail dinosaur you've ever seen in your life. Just boom, in Dominion, in like just cutting through the woods. That's what I want to see. That's the new villain. But I love it. I love it. This is a cool one right here. I don't know what these pictures are. They're just dinosaur pictures, I guess. But I just I love it. That's a cool looking dinosaur. You know, Brachiosaurus is my favorite one. And it's such an interesting one. Like, this really has that Apatosaurus design. It feels a lot like the Apatosaurus. Yeah, the Apatosaurus from Jurassic World. The face. Like, if you look at that face that's in this picture right here, I feel like that looks so similar to what you see in Jurassic World, right? Off the top of my head, it feels like it does. Let's see if this is. There's no pictures of it. Oh, there's that guy's getting his head eaten. Ah, ouch. You okay, dude? Let's just be careful what I wish for while scrolling through here. But anyway, where's my dude? Where's my dude at? Where is he? Where is he? I lost him. Oh, here he is. Hey, dude. That is so amazing. Woo! That's what I want. So I hope your super chat was time and money well spent, because that's what I want. That's what I want in Jurassic World Dominion. Google Lost World plush Mementosaurus. All right, let me. I'll just copy that. Let's see what happens here. I copied the quotes by mistake, so we'll see what happens. Oh, yeah. Okay, all right. I did see that floating around in there. Oh, I just clicked on something. All right, let's go back. Okay. Oh, yeah, that is so cool. Super awesome. What? Come on, open up. Oh, there it is. Oh, no. Oh, gosh. That is awesome. You know, I can't say this one's... I don't think this one's all that familiar, but I think I had one of these. I just can't pinpoint what it was, because I remember, like, I'm looking at the texture of that. I know that texture. I know what it felt like. I know everything about that stuffed dinosaur. So that's pretty awesome. I feel like I had one at one point, but I don't know if maybe it was a raptor. No, maybe it's oh, I don't know. Look how good that. What is that? Oh, that's awesome. I don't know what I had. I don't know. Maybe it was a Brachiosaurus. I could go through every one of these and be like, maybe it was this one. I like this raptor. He's just like, hey. Anyway, that's pretty awesome. If I can't get this guy in the film, then it's got to be this guy. Just straight up him, plush and all. That'd be cool. Is this what you guys came here for? Oh gosh. Hey Tim, it's like blocking out one of your comments. I don't know. There's nothing really wrong with the comment itself, but it's trying to hide it. It doesn't know if it wants me to show it or to hide it. Yeah, I don't know. It's cool though. What are you guys saying about the Mementosaurus? Tim says if Mementosaurus showed up in Dominion, we'd need the underside motorcycle shot recreated somehow. Yeah, for sure. That would be awesome. That shot is just incredible. Actually, after all that, I never brought up. Let's just take this out here. Oh man, oops. Let's just take a look at the Lost World Mementosaurus right here. Oh, I didn't want to save that picture, but here we are. Yeah, look at that thing. It's awesome. It's awesome. And I think, based off of this, like, it's not really anything I figured out until much later. I have all these making of books and all this stuff. So maybe it's something I kind of skimmed by and just didn't realize at the time. But it's such an awesome creature. And the fact that like we have so many like long neck dinosaurs is awesome to me. We've got different variations, even though I don't like the Brachiosaurus in Jurassic Park 3. I mean, it is a variant. We have Patasaurs, we got Mementosaurus. This is a great shot here. Where are these things opening up? That's a great shot. Like, everything about that like looks so good. That picture is honestly like a perfect image, even though it's not like crystal clear or anything, but it's like a perfect image. Like you literally went out on safari and like caught that image. It's so perfect. Oh my God. From the Parasaurolophus in there to the Gallimimus all over the place. There might be some little pachycephalosaurs next to the motorcycles up there, but the two massive necks just towering above everything. I love that so much. And that shot in The Lost World is kind of mimicked in Camp Cretaceous, I believe, in the first season, if I remember correctly. I think there's a sequence that's kind of mimicked a lot like that. So yeah. Thank you, Jurassic Souls. Thank you so much. Let's see. Also on that note, the Mementosaurus, it's like you said at least an homage would be cool. Like that would be cool, and it's such like a forgotten dinosaur. You know, I feel like it's a forgotten dinosaur from this series. You know, you never see any kind of love for this thing outside of those images that were released, you know, recently. But you never see any kind of like love for that. I don't feel like it's featured in anything or talked about ever. You know, nobody ever talks about this dinosaur. Yeah, so Jurassic Souls, like you said, hopefully Mattel will make more sauropod toys someday. You know, that would be amazing. Got my two Brachiosaurs right here on either side of my computer, just staring over me as I live stream. And to think about adding more would be amazing. You know, I unfortunately never got around to getting the Amargasaurus, and I'm so bummed about that. I am so bummed. I'm so bummed. I can't tell you. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I think it was one of those things where I saw it on Amazon for a while, and I was like, yeah, I'll get it. I'll get it sometime. And I didn't. I never did. And now it's like very expensive as far as I can tell. If anybody knows where to find one, let me know. At an okay price. Maybe we should dip into that in a second here. Well, if we're gonna stay kind of on that topic. Oh, maybe not. You guys talked a lot. Let's see. Yeah, Jurassic Soul says it's the face. The face looks like an Apatosaurus, but it's cool. It has a whip-like tail like Diplodocus. Yeah, exactly. I love that whip-like tail. It's super cool. Just, you know, the Brachiosaurus looks weird and wrong. All these long-necked dinosaurs look weird, but this looks even more weird and wrong. Like it just does not look like it should exist. It does not like it look like it should be able to support that head and neck, and it just, I don't know how it works. I have no idea how it works, but I love it. Yeah, maybe it was the Packy stuffed animal that I had plush. Jurassic Mike. All right, so yeah, this is what I was going to kind of get into. Jurassic Mike says, when the heck should we expect the Spino 3.0 to hit shelves in the US? Ooh, I don't know. Tim, you got any kind of insight as far as when that's supposed to happen? Because as you know, as we're pretty aware right now, it seems like it's fairly abundant in Canada right now. And I do have one on hold for me in Canada. I've been just trying to figure out the shipping cost because I'm like, I don't like as far as we were trying to like mock up the shipping and stuff because I have a few other items that need to be sent to me as well, and it's like you might have to pay like hundreds of dollars, and I'm like, no thanks, hold off for a little bit, we'll see. But yeah, so I did want to bring that. Let's see. I know it is. I did pre-order it as well, from Toy Wiz, so that's the thing that happened. Let's see. And I think it said it was going to be like an April shipping date. Actually, I just Googled, or not Googled, but searched for it on their website. And Spinosaurus is not coming up anymore. That's weird. Does it go away once the pre-orders have been fulfilled? Because I know, there was a kind of like a countdown as far as how many were available. Man, nothing's coming up on Toy Wiz. That's weird. Or maybe it's not weird. I don't know. Dodson showing up. Dodson, we are talking toys right now. We're talking toys. And Collect Jurassic says, I hear April. If that's the case for Targets and stuff like that, because right, isn't it in one of the systems, or I forget which one it was, Target or Walmart or something like that. I don't know. It's so hard to pay attention to each and everything. But for some reason, it's not popping up on Toy Wiz for me. Yeah, I don't know. I'm bad at Googling these things all on the fly. Give me a little bit more time and I'll be able to find things. But all right, so Collect Jurassic, as far as I know, Spino is supposed to hit Target in April as well. So that would be great. Sorry, I'm just reading through the other comments. So that's great news because a lot of people did reach out when I asked what people wanted to talk about. They said the hunt for the Spinosaurus, and it's one of those things. It's like we have such like, and I don't want to like lessen PTSD in any way because it's a very serious thing. But like as far as toy hunting, I guess you could say, we have that instilled in us from all of these figures that have either come out all across the world but not here, or they've come out here and not there. So it's like it's always tough to track these things down. And like I just mentioned, even from Canada, it's going to be a high shipping rate, and that's just over the border. Like shipping things to other countries is very expensive. So that always factors in because you're paying 40 something bucks for this toy alone, and then another 40, 50, 60, however much for shipping from another country. It's tough. It's very tough. So the hunt has been hard. It's been very hard. Has anybody out there had any luck? Has anybody found these Spinosaurus? Are you in Canada? Are you able to track it down? Because I did. I was able to send somebody out. I said, hey, can you go head out? He headed out, and there was plenty. He came home with a few. He's like, hey, nephew, you want some? Hey, other nephew, you want one? I'll take one, and I'll also send one to my friend Brad. So it seems like they're very plentiful. And we have seen that before with, like, I know out in the UK, the Spinosaurus, like the original Spinosaurus, it's just like wall to wall out there in some places. So you never know with these things. It's such a bummer that we have to deal with this no matter where you are. And I know we're a lot luckier here in the States with most things, but it still happens all the time. Right now, I'm having a hard time. And I should say I'm having a hard time, but I'm also kind of lazy about it. And I know Tim can back me up and kind of call me out on it too. But I never have something in my cart on Target's website. I never have a secondary item in my cart. So when we get notifications that the plesiosaur is back in stock, I'm like, yeah, let me go as fast as I can to the app, put it in my cart, and then forget that nothing else is in my cart because it's an item that you need 20 something other dollars or something to ship to you. And I'm like, And then I get lazy, and I'm like, hundreds of other people are trying to get this exact thing at this exact same time. I'm never going to go find a package of diapers for my kid to put in there in time. So guess what? I now have a package of diapers in there. I have my notifications still turned on. So the next time it happens, I'm going to do it. It's happening. But I'm super lazy about it. It took me a while to like put something in my cart. I've hit the notification like 4 times at this point for Plesiosaur. What were the other ones? The Stiggy and whatever that other one is. I'm blanking on the name of whatever it is. You know what it is. It's sitting right there behind me, and I'd have no clue what it's called. This is what it's like to be me, to not know what dinosaur names there are on the Jurassic Park podcast. Hey, it's not in a film. All right, give me a break. Let's see. Oh, Jurassic Dave, what's up, dude? Siak is here. You would watch a 10-hour Jurassic Park movie? Of course. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? I mean, probably some people, but yeah. So let's see if we can maybe wrap up this because I didn't really have a lot to talk about toy wise. Mostly just tracking down some new stuff. Let's see here. Dodgson says there's still no new info on the 3.75 rumored human pack for this year, and it makes me very concerned. We're also concerned about the humans, right? We're always concerned that they're never going to show up again. By the way, go check out Collect Jurassic's YouTube. Just go click on that, and you'll see an amazing figure that made it out into the wild. Franklin. You got your hands on it, and I'm like, that's amazing. That is so amazing. I love that. That's one of those figures that I don't know, what is it about unreleased figures that like really makes us so anxious and just like need to have it, and the fact that it's a human, and we've been so like we feel like we've been ripped off with the humans, to not have that one in our collection. Oh, it's such a bummer. But you got it. That's all. That's amazing. Let's see. Oh gosh, I gotta go back up. I keep skipping around way too far. I'm catching up, and collect Jurassic Bread. I'm not trying to dominate the convo with toys, but it's hard. No, man. Most of these live streams end up being me talking about toys for like an hour, and I'm like, ugh. Everybody wants to hear it, and I want to talk about it, so let's do it. But I feel like I've talked about them so much recently. And at this point, like that one just said, haven't heard any new news about like a lot of stuff, so I'm like, I don't know. What can I say? Ferocious Tiger asks, so just to make sure, anyone is allowed to speak? Yeah. I mean, sure. Share whatever you want. Share some points and stuff. Share whatever you want. This is a conversation, guys. Let's have a conversation. If you get the reference, you get it. If you don't, you're out of the loop. Benny T just popped in to say hi. What's up? Rebel Commander just joined in. We're talking about toys at the moment, probably moving on. Jurassic World fan says, I wish the Spino comes in season 3. Yeah, I mean, we kind of did talk about that a while back, or I don't know, maybe recently, I forget. But the Spinosaurus, right, it's in the Camp Cretaceous package, isn't it? I think so. We were kind of wondering about that, and the fact that the eyeballs look a little different than others, but uh, as far as I've heard, in person they don't look as cartoony as we originally thought. So, maybe it probably has absolutely nothing to do with the show. And like we heard in our interview with Scott Kramer, he made a point to say, like, not everything you see on the shelves in the toy packages for Camp Cretaceous are going to be in the show. So, I know a lot of people were concerned about that, and we had it from the source, a source, I guess. Yeah. He doesn't know really what they're doing with the toys, but he does know that not everything you see in the toy form is going to be in the show. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Yeah, as far as the Spinosaurus actually appearing in Camp Cretaceous, let's see. Yeah, we can go there. We can go there. I would love that. I've still got this Mementosaurus up here. Why didn't you guys tell me? I'm still talking next to this thing. At least, honestly, I wish it was this. I wish I had that up here this whole time. Why? Come on. You guys should have told me that was still sitting there. Ha! Look at that guy. All right, let's go full frame again. So what was I going to talk about? The Spinosaurus in season, I guess you could say season 3. Look, I would love that. I feel like the Spinosaurus has been one of those things that, like, it feels like they tried to forget or push off to the side with this film series. Historically speaking, there's what was actually, let me try to bring up that information here. I might have to bring up a separate let's see. I want to see what the mention of the Spinosaurus throughout lore is at this point in time, because it's one of those things that, like, has eluded us this whole time. All right, so new species. So I'm looking through the DPG information and stuff like that. I can never remember all of this data. It's just so heavy. So there was a bunch of information that apparently popped up online in 2015 via the DPG that says new species, as far as what has been on the island on Sorna for years up until 2015 were like Ankylosaurus, Ceratosaurus, Corythosaurus, Spinosaurus. All were abandoned on Site B until the surviving animals were reportedly moved to Nublar to be housed as future attractions at Jurassic World. Let's see what else we got. There's one mention of a Spinosaurus on the DPG website. Just one mention? That's it? Yikes. We have the InGen list and all this stuff. Let's see. Mementosaurus. There was 4 known. On population estimate from a 1993 report. So the update was pending. So this is a report from 1993. From Mementosaurus, there was 4. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. It was always a thing that bothered me about the Spinosaur was that tweet. This is going to be hard to find. If the Jurassic World Twitter account was like was it like an Easter post? I feel like it was like an Easter post. It's gonna be hard to find. I don't know. Anyway, I remember they posted like this Spinosaur that you see in Jurassic World gets smashed through the fossil record that's on Main Street. That one that you see smashed through is the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3, and literally the only information we had about that was that tweet from the Jurassic World account. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't listen to that sort of canonical information, if you will. It's weird to have like something so important to a lot of people just like kind of said in a tweet, and just to say like, yeah, that is the Spinosaur from Jurassic Park 3. When you look at that fossil and then you look at the Spinosaur, that nothing about them matches up in any way. So it's very strange to have that happen. But for instance, if you take that information from the GPG, I know there's something else. I can't remember where it is in this. This website here. Yeah, there was. All right, so this is the thing I was trying to look up. There was a bunch of information. That information that popped up in 2015 about Sorna, the research and growth of these animals that I had mentioned before, were filed under early R&D for Jurassic Park's second iteration, and simultaneously amalgam testing, which kind of leads you to believe that some of these dinosaurs that you see were kind of used as like the start of hybridization, right? So, yeah, there's not a ton of mention outside of that kind of stuff. But I would totally be open to the Spinosaurus popping up, despite them saying like whatever was on Sorna made it over to Nublar unless it died, So that's just that stinks. I don't know why would the Spinosaur, if the Spinosaur died on Sorna, why? It was like it was the ultimate predator out there, and I don't know if anybody would have taken it down, and it has plenty of food to eat, right? You would think. I mean, there's also the possibility, right, that it was moved to Sorna, right? I guess. I don't know. Am I missing something? So who knows? But I wouldn't put it past them to say, hey, it's out there. It's still alive. It's the same one. I would love that. I would personally love that. I would love to be able to say we have legacy dinosaurs. We have the T-Rex, which is a legacy dinosaur. And I know, again, like it's one of those things as far as like legacy dinosaurs. I think it was J.A. Bayona had mentioned something about like the the Brachiosaur that you see being burned is the one from Jurassic Park. And I'm like, no, that's not the case. There's no way. It doesn't look anything like it. Right? Didn't he say that? So, a lot of people, and we can kind of divide this into a few things. You guys are bringing up the super colossal Toro. Um, yeah, I mean, it looks amazing. It looks amazing. I don't know. It's massive. They're all massive. I have the T-Rex and the Indominus. I don't have Baloo, but that's enticing. I don't know. We'll see. And how many times can I bring home a massive, massive dinosaur? Where am I going to put all these things? Going back to the Spinosaur. Let's see. Yeah, I would love for it to be featured in the future somehow. If they were to say that it was alive and they brought it over, prior to Jurassic World opening, and it had its own paddock, and we just never saw it, just like we never saw the Carnotaurus in Jurassic World. We didn't see it until Fallen Kingdom. And even in Camp Cretaceous, they're like, hey, it's too aggro. We had to put it out. They had to put it out somewhere else away from the crowds. Oh my gosh, I just skipped ahead quite a bit, I think. But I just saw this. Collect Jurassic. The official Jurassic World socials be like, did you know the T-Rex had 3 fingers? Did you know Brontosaurus was the first on-screen dinosaur in Jurassic Park? Well, it was. Oh gosh, yeah, they would do that, and it's a shame. It's a shame. Some of this stuff, which we all deal with this, whether it's a toy stuff or just the social media posts or stuff that's on the DPG site that doesn't mesh with the films or doesn't mesh with Camp Cretaceous, whatever the case may be. We're just like, what is going on here? Where's the oversight? Why is this stuff getting out? Why is this happening? And that tweet about the Spinosaurus, which I couldn't track down for you guys, that's one of those things that just is like, come on. Why is this getting posted? Oh my gosh, I had to scroll so far. Let's see. Well, we're all over the place here in the chat and my conversation. So let's find some singularity. We're talking about the Spinosaurus, so let's move over to E750. I know a lot of people wanted to talk about E750. I feel like this is another one of those topics that I'm just going to be talking about constantly until we have an answer, right? Until probably May or so. But maybe June, who knows? But the E750 thing, right? So what do you guys think it is? I know there's a lot of running theories out there. And I honestly don't know. I have no idea. So this is it's pointless to discuss. But I know you guys want to discuss it, and we all have theories or a lot of us have theories as far as what it is. Paleoraptor mentions E750. Red Raptor says theories for E750. Let's see. Aquarium Master says, I feel like E750 will be some type of hybrid. Of course. That's 100% what it will be. Let me look up if I can see if any kind of pictures or anything like that of E750. Not the thing in the tank, but no, I don't know. Because Dr. Wu had that information on his computer. Let me see if I can bring that up real quick. Netflix. That was in episode 2 of season 1. Where is it? You got to be here somewhere. It was right when I opened it up before. It was right there. Let me try to search. Camp Cretaceous. All right. Let's see. Episode 2. Secrets. Turn that down for me, my own sake. All right. So they're shoveling dinosaur poop. Let's see. Brooklyn goes off into Dr. Wu's lab. I know there's something. There's so much information here. You know, you can look at the whiteboard and see that there's like a T-Rex. There looks to be a Brachiosaurus on there. Maybe it's a Mementosaurus. Who knows? It's possible. Let's see. Computer. So the computer, and I know a lot of people are clinging to this, right? And Scott Kramer in our interview recently. If you didn't listen to that, go back to the podcast feed. There's an interview there. Maybe I uploaded it here. I forget. There's an interview there where he says, like, I asked him about E750, and I knew he would not say anything about it. But he said, it's E750. It's a thing. It's, it's right there in episode 2 on the computer. And I mean, you could read into that, like his phrasing of saying, like, it's right there in episode 2 on Dr. Wu's computer. I mean, the allusion to E750 was right there in that episode, right? But there's nothing concrete, right? There's quick pans across, you see a Spinosaurus. And the thing about the text in this show is you can't read the text. There's nothing to really read. It's just like a lot of gibberish. So in this picture, there's a Spinosaurus fossil. So, maybe they're saying that fossil in Jurassic World, the film, is this fossil here that they gathered evidence from, or not evidence, but DNA samples from, because it looks like there's like a graph, like kind of measuring the Spinosaurus itself. They circled the head. So what are they trying to say here? What are they trying to say? And there's also like some sort of gibberish, and then a point, like an arrow pointing at the spine, about the sail itself. So is the sail something that is to be included? There's like a kind of like a graph that points out like the length and the height kind of thing of the Spinosaurus. But I don't know. I mean, what does the Spinosaurus factor into this? Is this... I don't remember. Sorry, I'm just thinking to myself. I don't remember if there was any Spinosaurus DNA in, like, the Indominus Rex. I don't think so. I really need, like, all information for all times to be somewhere where I can access it very quickly. I don't know. I know there was like cuttlefish and like T-Rex and Raptor or something like that, right? But I don't think Spinosaurus was part of it. Oh, here it is. Hybrid Giganosaurus or Giganotosaurus, Majungasaurus, Carnotaurus, Rugops, Therizinosaurus, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Can't say that. Quilomis, Viveaventon, Velociraptor, Dinosuchus, Cuttlefish, Tree Frog, Pit Viper, unspecified number of animals. Okay, so thanks. Yeah, thanks for that. No Spinosaurus in there, so it's not like they're alluding to the Spinosaurus for, for the Indominus Rex, because at this point in the show, the Indominus Rex wasn't revealed. Also, you do see blue underneath the Spinosaurus. I'm assuming it's blue. It's kind of like a grayscale version of blue. There's some sort of DNA sequence. Obviously, you can't really read it. There's also like a fossil record of the T-Rex head. And, you know, there's arrows pointing to the teeth in the back of the jaw. There's there's a circle on like the big tooth on the side. I don't know what you would call that. There's also some arrows pointing very similarly to the Spinosaurus, pointing to like this cavity, like, I don't know if it's like, it's right next to the eyes, like right in the, my face does not look like a T-Rex. I keep trying to like point like right here. But I don't think it really resembles a Rex too much, so it's kind of hard to figure. So what is that trying to say? I have no idea. You know, it stands out the fact that like they're circling the teeth, they're pointing at the teeth. So are they trying to get a creature that has big teeth, more teeth, has a good bite strength, has a sail, has a snout, Suchomimus. The clinical trial results are right there. E750 classified, but that's about it. So, you know, there's a chance that it could be this Spinoraptor. You know, a lot of people are talking, and I have not been looking at the chat. Apologies, but I know a lot of people talk about the Spinoraptor, and it's kind of like, it's got a little bit of history, right? With a franchise, I know. Let's see. I am bringing up the Wikipedia or whatever for the Spinoraptor. So it appears in Jurassic World, the game, which is like the phone app, the mobile game. It can be created by fusing a level 40 Utah Raptor and a level 40 Spinosaurus. Completely unneeded information for this discussion. But it looks pretty awesome. So it's also available in Jurassic World Evolution. Let me bring this up for you guys so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. Oh, no, there he is again. Oh, you can't even see him. Hey, there he is. That's him. That's the Spinoraptor right there. I gotta get rid of all the stuff that I opened up before. All right, so Spinoraptor, right? Is it up there now? It should be up there now. I just wanted to bring up some images here of, I don't want this movie playing in the corner, of a Spinoraptor, so you can kind of see what it looks like from Jurassic World Evolution. Pretty awesome looking. I love this like little sail. Let's look at the teeth. The teeth are pretty big. It's got some pretty big teeth. Not like T-Rex size or anything like that. So it's hard to say that they're huge or anything. It does have the snout. So when you're pointing out that image on Dr. Wu's desk, you know, it pointed at the sail. The sail is here on this Spinoraptor from Jurassic World Evolution. Again, Evolution has nothing to do with this. It's just a creation in the game. But if we're kind of trying to piece things together, I just wanted to use that as a visual. It had the sail on there. It had the snout that pointed at the head of the Spinosaurus. So you got the head, you got the sail. It also had blue on there, or what looked to be blue, a Velociraptor. This 100% has the body of a Velociraptor. I mean, look at it. Pretty much everything about it is Velociraptor. Most of the neck, all the way through the tail, except for the sail. Who am I, Dr. Seuss? So the other thing was the teeth, right? So the teeth are big. Yeah, sure, they're big. Big teeth. Let's see what else we got here. Another Spinoraptor. This hybrid combines the speed and intelligence of the Velociraptor with the ferocity of the Spinosaurus. So, this seems to be mostly like Spinoraptor hybrid. Obviously, that's the name, Spinoraptor. That looks pretty cool. I mean, look at that thing. Actually, the head from this angle looks very Velociraptor, just extended. Oh, okay. So that image before, I was like, oh, that looks cool. It was just a Spinosaurus. Oh, there is a Spinoraptor there. So you can kind of get a good size comparison there. So the huge Spinosaurus and a medium, to small Spinoraptor. There it is jumping on. It looks just like kind of like a little bit bigger Velociraptor in a way. Like it kind of looks like that Kenner Velociraptor, that tall electronic Velociraptor. Utah Raptor, I guess, right? There it is compared to a goat. There's just its head, apparently. That's a good image right there. Oh, here's some toys. A Brawlosaurus. There's a logo. Wasn't there more? That's a Baryonyx. Let me see. Yeah, there was. The guy that looked like he played basketball. I know that's kind of like a ridiculous. Oh no, that was just a Spinosaurus. What is it a hybrid with? I don't know. I don't know what it's a hybrid with, but it's part of the hybrid line. I'll bring this up here for you guys. So this is what I was just looking at. This guy, and I say basketball just because where's my camera? I feel like I'm off-centered. Because he's got these gold feet. I feel like he's wearing gold basketball shoes. I don't know why. It's just where my brain goes. These hideous Hasbro toys from 2015 or so. This may be a little bit later. But yeah. Sorry, thirsty. I'm just showing this because this is I thought it was going to be a Spinoraptor, but it's just a Spinosaurus. I forgot. All right, so back to the spine. That's what you're going to get. That's what's in the tank right there. But I mean, there's a decent chance that this is something that's in that tank, right? Based off of the context clues that we just broke down. And something else we have to go off of, right? So what was I going to go off of? Oh, okay, so I think I have this information here. So let me take this music down just a tad. So if we're going to go off of the Jurassic World Evolution Spinoraptor, right? I do have this here, which is from Evolution's Twitter. So let's I don't know if you hopefully you can hear this. I have no idea if you can hear this or not. Oh, you know what I'm going to have to do probably? Hold on. There you go. I think you should hear that now. With the speed and awareness of the Velociraptor. So what I wanted to do was I want to point out the sound of the Spinoraptor. Let's take a listen to the Spinoraptor sound. See what we hear. See what we hear. Let me just bring that back up. And if you're having any issue hearing this, just let me know. I'm gonna skip ahead just to see. Make sure you guys Tim, the stream looking at Hasbro's Brawlosaurus. It's not something I saw coming. Yeah, me either. Me either. I thought it was a B-ballosaurus for a second. I thought it was a basketball player with some sick ass Jordans. So that's kind of what I thought it was. But but that's not what it was. It's just gold feet on a Spinosaurus. That's about it. But let's see here. This, where did it go? I lost it. I lost it. All right, so let's take a listen to the sound. Is my mic on? Is it still on? Yeah. Okay. All right. Probably double. I don't know if that sounds terrible. Hold on. Let's play. Let's roll the tape.
Extracting hybrid profile. Spinoraptor. An InGen hybrid combining the size, power, and aggressive capabilities of the Spinosaurus with the speed and awareness of the Velociraptor. An InGen hybrid. Spinoraptor. An InGen hybrid combining.
Okay, so that was what do we hear from that? We heard it was loud. It was very high pitched. It was very raptory to a certain extent. Let's take a listen to this. This is E750, the noise that you hear at the end of the episode. It's so hard to tell, right? Like, you have no idea. They do sound very, very similar. They do sound very similar. So it's tough to say, though. Like, it's tough to say if that's exactly what it is. It sounds similar, but so do other dinosaurs. Like, that sound clip, that E750. Oh, my God. I hit the wrong thing. Come on. Stop. You hear that high pitch, that like squeal kind of noise. It's also kind of garbled because it kind of sounds like it's mixing in the shutting down of the speaker system or something. So it's kind of weird. Like it's not like a full dinosaur sound, and it's just kind of like a squeal. It's high pitched. The the Spinoraptor also has that high pitched sound. The Indominus, I guess the Indominus might have it, but the Indoraptor definitely has it. The Indoraptor for sure sounds very high pitched at times. So are they the same? Maybe. Could be. Yeah, I Jurassic Sibling says yes, there's an echo. Sorry about that. I had double me on. It was my I should turn that off completely. My other program, I had to start that up so you could hear the sound from the video there. But yeah, sorry about that. That's why I was like trying not to talk. Yeah, I don't know. What do we think? Do we think that had anything to do with it? Are they one and the same? A lot of people have guessed or just have wondered if it's just a Spinosaur. Like, and I don't know. I don't think whatever E750 is, I don't think it's just a Spinosaurus. That image of the like E750 container, in the background, you can actually see some like what looks to be like cabinets of some sort or something like that. And I don't know, just judging the size of the background and the cabinets and everything, it does not look like it's all that big of a container. It looks kind of comparable to what you see in Jurassic Park 3, I would say. You know, the big chambers that you see inside that facility, where the raptor is kind of in there pretending to play dead, I guess, for some reason. Let's see. I don't know. It's bringing up the video game. No good pictures that I can see right now. But you know, speaking of video games too, I know a lot of people have wondered if it's Troodon from Jurassic Park, the game, right? So the Troodon is another toy that recently popped up. It doesn't, I know it kind of resembles this one paint job wise. It kind of looks like that. It's not a full perfect recreation, but the ones in the game look a lot scarier, a lot just creepier. The Troodon that's in toy form from Mattel looks kind of cute. I kind of like it. Like it's kind of good. So, you know, if we're looking at the Troodon, right? Like, I think that image is still up. Do I still have that screen up? Yeah. All right. So when you look at the Troodon, right, you got this creepy thing over here in the bigger image, right? That's from Jurassic Park, the game. And then you got this, like, hey, it's partial image here. Oh, here we go. I mean, it's kind of replicating the spots down the back with the darker tone up top and the gray, and of course the undertones of like pinkish, I guess, or it looks red more so in the game. But the face definitely looks like kind of a more playful iteration than the game version. So who knows? I don't think they have anything to do with each other. I think it's kind of just like, hey, we wanted to create something that kind of looked like the game, and that's it. And it's not. I don't think it's supposed to be a carryover into the show or anything like that. Even though it does kind of have like a little cartoonier iteration than some of the other dinosaurs. I guess it's in Jurassic World Evolution. Is this what it looks like in Jurassic World Evolution? So this actually looks, if this is the case, this looks a lot more like Genie from Jurassic World Live Tour, which is also a Troodon. Let's see. There's Genie. Look at Genie. Also a Troodon. And I like, here, guys, you want to see a picture of Chris from Jurassic Outpost? There he is right there. There he is. I don't know if I took that picture. Did I take that picture? I took a few pictures of him doing that pose. But anyway, here's Genie. And sure, she looks kind of like a big compy. Is this from Chris on Twitter? Redesigning it as always. But is this something that, like, this show was deemed soft canon from Colin Trevorrow, kind of dismissing it in a way, saying it doesn't exactly matter to our ongoing Jurassic story that we're telling, despite, you know, the story being pretty awesome. I think it's really awesome that there was an alternate program from the Raptors. The Raptors were their own program. And Genie and this Troodon was a completely different, a different facility, a different program that they were trying to do with the emotional state of these dinosaurs, trying to tap into that. So was this deemed soft canon because of Camp Cretaceous? Maybe. I think that's pretty plausible as well. I think a Spinoraptor is something that is pretty alluring. That theory is really alluring. Not Genie, but the Troodon is also another alluring one because, you know, they established what, as we assumed originally and were told originally by the creators of the show, was real and canonical. So this is a dinosaur that you would see on Nublar. But if it's deemed soft canon, because they have other things lined up with Troodons, they can dismiss it and say, no, that didn't really happen that way. We do have Troodons, but they don't look like this. So maybe there's a Troodon in there, and maybe it kind of is a hybrid iteration of something we see here and something we see in Jurassic Park the game. I don't know. I would kind of wonder. First off, speaking of E750, this thing it's so confusing to me. It makes no sense. Like, I don't get it. I don't get what it is. Why is it frozen? How does that help? How does something freeze, unthaw, and then just come to... I don't know how this coming to life... I have no idea how any of this is happening, right? So I don't understand why this is a thing. But I'm willing to, give into it and hope that it's something cool. But is it possible that, I'm assuming a dinosaur just jumps right out and is like, I'm out of here. I'm free now. I don't want to be stuck in this water tank anymore. Since it thawed out, I guess. So could there be a Troodon in there? But I like the idea that maybe what this is maybe not something hostile. That would be kind of interesting. What would you guys think of that? This not being a hostile dinosaur, E750, whatever it is. Imagine that they bred it, right? They bred something and it kind of came out like Genie. And Genie is a threatening dinosaur and certainly defends them in Jurassic World Live Tour. But she's also a much more empathetic creature that is kind of, it's on a certain wavelength and it has a lot of thoughts and, they can tap into and kind of emotionally connect with this dinosaur in a way. And maybe that's not what they were looking for. They were looking for more of the Indoraptor. And instead they came out with this. They thought, let's try a Troodon because it's the smartest dinosaur there is. And instead they got something that was a little bit more empathetic and not hostile, like a Velociraptor or Indominus or something like that. So maybe it was a failed attempt at the Indoraptor kind of creature. And they're like, well, it's so nice. Let's just put it on tap. Let's put it on a frozen piece of ice for a little while. And we'll figure it out later. Which would be interesting. It would be interesting to have kind of like another buddy in a way. I don't know. Would it be interesting to have another dinosaur that's kind of not a threat? We already have Bumpy. And Bumpy's, the tag along from the first season and a little bit in the second season as well. It could certainly have a different aspect because it's not just like Bumpy. It's not the fact that Bumpy is just there next to you being your playful friend that helps out. They could maybe dive deeper into this whole research facility and E750 and figure out why it was a thing and why it was such a thing that was, kept on ice. So it could have a better backstory than Bumpy in a way. So it might not be exactly the same, but I think it's kind of interesting to have something maybe a little lighthearted. You're kind of expecting the worst with E750, right? You're expecting whatever's in there to be something to terrorize these kids. So I could definitely see them subverting your expectations and being like, oh, it's actually a friend. Is that interesting? I don't know. Do you want it to just be another big threat? Do you want E750 to just be, the Spinoraptor that just comes after them and terrorizes them? I mean, yeah, that's kind of awesome. But does another predator evading, the kids are evading another predator. In this case, this is like an ultimate threat kind of deal. They haven't had any raptors come after them outside of, a moment in episode 1 and 2. So it would be awesome to see something smaller come after them because so far they haven't had that. They've had compies and caged raptors. But outside of that, it's been bigger creatures, right? So it would certainly make sense for them to go that route, for it to be something small to terrorize them. But what I'm trying to say is, like, it doesn't make a lot of sense for these kids to constantly escape something, especially something smaller that can get to them. In many cases, in the first and second season, the kids were able to escape easily because they could go somewhere where this creature couldn't, like a vent, like hiding in between two walls that a T-Rex can't get me. Things like that, where they were able to safely hide. But in this case, they would not be able to safely hide, right? This thing would be knocking at the door, waiting to eat them. So I don't know. What are you guys saying about all this? What are you guys saying? I'm going to go back. I feel like I've been just, like, talking for a while. I mean, that's what this is, right? That's what I'm supposed to be doing. So why does that change? I don't know why that shifts. Why does that do that? It's not supposed to automatically change. Oh, okay, here we go. Transition. So what was I going to say? I was going to look at what you guys were talking about. The one thing missing is that the evolution Spinoraptor doesn't have any thorns. In that tank, there's definitely something spiky in there, right? Like it does kind of look thorny in a way. So, who knows though? You can look at that image and not really know what's happening in that image. It sure looks like thorns, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't know if I mentioned it, but that was Siaka. I think I got to go back a lot farther. Oh my gosh. Hybrid raptor. Okay. Aquaria Master says, I'm going to cry if Spinosaurus and Dilophosaurus aren't in Dominion or in some type of media in the upcoming years. Yeah, for sure. I would be upset about that too. People have mentioned maybe this E750 is a Dilophosaurus. I mean, that's possible, I guess. I don't know. There's no context clues or lead in to us to think it is, but it's possible. I think anything's possible. Siaka, going back to the Spinosaurus comment from the tweet, says, I think the tweet literally meant Spinosaurus is from Jurassic Park 3, not the canonical implications that the Spinosaurus is dead and strung up as if it was a fossil cast. I don't know. I think that's not what they meant. Jurassic World fan says it must be the Indoraptor. Yeah, I've seen a lot of talk about, it being a first iteration or something like that of the Indoraptor. That could be kind of cool, I guess. Would it be a little too redundant? Maybe, to have an Indoraptor here, an Indoraptor there. It also kind of diminishes Fallen Kingdom in a way to say, like, we went to go get the bone from the Indominus Rex at the bottom of the water, but we had an Indoraptor right over there we could have just got. So, I don't know. It doesn't really make a ton of sense unless, I don't know. It's just like, it's a lot of reworking to make it work, right? Like, they could like send a team out to get the Indoraptor on Nublar, and then interact with the kids, and then the kids, somehow the dinosaur dies, and then at the end of the season, you see Dr. Wu's like, we have another way to get it, we have another way to create it. We have to go back and get a bone. And you're like, okay, now it's set up Fallen Kingdom. I don't know. I don't know if an Indoraptor makes a ton of sense to me, plausibly, but it's possible. Anything is possible at this point. I have no idea. Yeah, and Siaka, going back to your comment about Bayona being misinterpreted, I kind of feel that way too, that it was a misinterpretation of what was meant to be said there. But yeah, who knows? It's, we have to kind of take them on face value for a lot of their stuff. And, because it wouldn't be the first time that that's happened where they said, yeah, that was the thing. Because it happens all the time. And I feel like Colin it has that happen a lot too. So, but yeah, hopefully it was just a misinterpretation, because it's definitely not the same thing, right? Jared says E750 could be a hybrid, or it could be a fictional real species, like the digger burrowing raptors in an old version of the JP3 script. Yeah, I think somebody mentioned it. Excavator raptor or something. Siaka mentioned it actually a little earlier. Excavaraptor or whatever, right? That was what it was called, wasn't it? Or was that the thing from Sales Script? I don't remember. Maybe it's Sales Script? Jurassic World fan says, in the ending of Season 2, Episode 8, E750 growls, so it has to be the Indoraptor. Doesn't have to be. I mean, most dinosaurs growl. But like I said, it kind of has that high-pitched sound, so it could be an Indoraptor sound. That sound, it kind of is a raptor sound in a way, because the raptors, squeal. They had a lot of high-pitched squealing going on. And it certainly did sound like that Spinoraptor from the game. Oh yeah, that's right, Siaka. I did do the audio description, and it does say covered in thorns or something like that, right? Yeah. So I guess it is. I don't know. I think it's something that it could be an interpretation again. It's like, hey, our narrator said it was covered in thorns, but it's not actually. It was just ice. Mateus says it could be a brand new hybrid which mixes Carnotaurus, Spinosaurus, and Velociraptor, like something really demonic. And Collect Jurassic, I usually don't care much about spoilers from toys, but I feel like a fair bit of fun/speculation was taken from me for E750. I'm hoping I can still be surprised. Yeah. I won't mention with that at all, but I don't know. What I know of that, I don't know. I don't know that that's interesting. I don't know that that's interesting enough. Like, it's another thing to have to talk about, a completely different thing. I don't know. It doesn't. I kind of like a take on, like, a Spinoraptor is it's easy, right? Like, it's a Spinoraptor. Like, it's a Spinosaurus and a raptor. You get it straight away. You know what that is. An Indoraptor, we already have all these mashup names. Indominus Rex, we have Indoraptor. So to add another thing into the mix just doesn't, I know that there's listing, there or whatever, but like, I don't know. It doesn't seem. I want to be taken a different direction, and I don't know. Just because I don't like that direction doesn't mean it isn't the direction, but I don't think it's very fun. I think there's better directions, right? I think there's better directions. So let's keep our hopes up and hope that spoiler from Toys may be incorrect, or at least something completely different. Maybe it's a thing that wears basketball shoes for feet. Oh, yeah, that was another thing that I wanted to mention, too. Raptor Red says it could be a different raptor with something to do with Aftermath. I did have that in my notes as well, as far as what people have been pointing out. And yeah, there's raptors featured in Aftermath that are different than our core raptors. So maybe that's a possibility. Maybe it's just a different raptor. Would that be interesting? I mean... we've been saying for years that we want more raptors, but to have it introduced in like a way that leads you to believe it's something much more interesting than that, doesn't make a ton of sense for me to be like, what is E750? What is it? What is it? Oh, it's a raptor? I mean, that's cool. We have another raptor on the island. Fine, that's cool. But that was not what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be something, I don't know, cooler. So I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it does have a connection to Aftermath. I don't know. It's possible. Again, it's possible. Yeah, see, I guess a superhero freezing logic. Yeah, you're right. It's just like, hey, it's like, you just went to another planet for a little bit. You had to take a trip to space for a little bit and cryogenically froze you for a few, and you woke up. I don't know how cryogenic freezing works. Maybe that's exactly how it works. I have no idea. It just does not seem like when I watch a space movie and somebody goes into a deep freeze sleep and then wakes up, that everything's fine. I don't know if it doesn't work that easily. I don't think so, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it does. Oh my gosh, it skipped all over the place again. Matea says, I think it's a brand new dino hybrid, possibly way smarter and can express more emotions, as we saw how Bumpy could understand the campers and even alert them to danger. Yeah, I mean, that kind of cues into what I said. I don't know when you mentioned that, if it was before or after what I was talking about the Troodon. But, yeah, that's pretty much what I was kind of alluding to there, was like something that could connect with these kids in a different way than Bumpy can. So it could be kind of cool to have something that's more empathetic and not just a terror to them. And I think that's a much more interesting story. I don't know. I think it could be more interesting. And honestly, if they take some of the story beats from the live tour, since they deemed it non-canon, it could pan out to work pretty well in this ongoing story that we have here for Camp Cretaceous. So what they're doing in the show could work with new characters and different story beats and stuff like that. As far as what they did in the live tour, it could kind of interchange in a way. Not everything. Oh, Rebel Commander says, I want a woolly mammoth. Probably not it, but common something. Ice Age better than Ice. What? Okay. Something from the Ice Age or like that kind of thing would be kind of cool. Like a saber-toothed tiger just pops out of there. So that would be kind of cool. And Mateus says it would have to be something far from the Indoraptor. Yeah, I think it would benefit them to have something far from the Indoraptor as well. Again, it doesn't necessarily have to be. There could be some crazy story that connects and then disconnects it from Fallen Kingdom in a way that works, but it just seems like too much. Like, why would you tell it? Why would you do that? Why would you try to tell that story? But the idea of freezing something because it's too dangerous, sure, that works. Freezing something because you want to work on it later, sure. I don't know. Freezing something makes no sense to me, so I don't know. I really have no clue. But yeah, Brandon B. Ice Age was a great movie.
Could you try again?
No. Yeah, Siaka, is that I think, did you put it on Twitter, that clip? I'm just talking without even mentioning. You mentioned this, that there's an interview that says that the JP3 Rex that got killed was the junior from the Lost World. Again, I think that was a Stan Winston clip, right? Like of them in doing like a session where they kind of talked about some things. I think you shared that recently on Twitter. But again, that's just like a thing where they were just joking around and just kind of said something. I don't think that really mattered at all, right? Isn't that kind of the way you took it, right? But yeah, all right. So that's enough about E750. I think we're not getting anywhere with that after all that. I think Raptors from Aftermath, sure, that's least likely on my list. Spinosaurus is definitely least likely. But I don't know. Spinosaurus is definitely least likely. Spinoraptor, maybe top of the list, but also Troodon. And I kind of like the idea of a nice Troodon. That would be kind of cool. This is literally the first time I'm thinking of this all out loud, the nice Troodon aspect. That could be something to definitely subvert our expectations as far as what we're thinking, because we're all going to go into season 3 being like, that thing's going to be crazy. It's going to be wild. Oh, it's nice. It's our friend. And Luke asks, do you think Toro is going to be in season 3? I would say 100%. I would say absolutely. Toro's definitely not dead. Toro's 100% still alive. All right, so let's move on to let's wrap it up here actually, because we'll wrap it up after this last one. And this is Sam Neill. So guys, Sam Neill was making some rounds recently, right? And he was talking about Jurassic World Dominion because he's in that movie playing Dr. Alan Grant. And where's my article here? Oh, here it is. I found the article. Hold on. No! Not again! You! Alright, here we go. Sam Neill. Let me reload this because this is not doing anything at all. Let's go back to this guy for a second. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. That's what I want in Dominion. It's going to be 6 hours because it's going to be one long panning shot from the tail to the face of this dinosaur. It's going to be like, but slower, much slower. I don't know why this article does not want to load. Anyway, Sam Neill said some things. Let's see if this will open up. I do have the quote here, the big quote. Anyway, Sam Neill did mention that he said this in a Variety article. So this article I'm trying to open up is from Variety, but for some reason it does not want to open. Come on, you can do it. It says, hold on, one last try. All right, here we go. Oh, there we go. There, now it's working. All right, somewhere. Oh, skip ad. Now we got an ad. Okay, great. Awesome. All right, so Sam Neill on 50 years of acting, filming, 6-hour movie, Jurassic World Dominion, and adapting Rams. All right, so let's see here. Neill reprises his role as paleontologist Dr. Alan Grant in a new film, partly filmed during the pandemic and due out in 2022, and jokes that the cast excitably, like, what is that word? It churned out what would become a 6-hour movie. All right, so he says down here, it's going to be a big film. Director Colin Trevorrow has that childlike sense of wonder, playfulness, and inventiveness that Steven Spielberg has. We really shot a 6-hour movie. We were all very gung-ho. Oops. So yeah. They shot, he says, guys, we really did, 100% really did shoot a 6-hour movie. Huh. He says, hopefully, down here, there will be thousands of massive cinemas ready for it because it's a big film for big audiences. In 2022, Dr. Grant will be the same character, but different world, different times. Dr. Grant and Dr. Sattler haven't seen each other for some time. So you'll have to see how that pans out. Ooh, interesting. I like that he says down here, no one knows whether Jurassic would continue, be postponed, or be abandoned altogether. Think about that world, guys, where, we go into this pandemic, and we did wonder if anything would continue. I think for the most part, we assumed it would continue just, like it did at a later date. But imagine a world where they don't know if this movie's going to be abandoned. Is it going to be abandoned altogether? We don't know. But it wasn't. The world turned into a darker place, and that was strange. I found it liberating in a creative way. So yeah, I think that's about it. But there's some stuff about them living together, stuff like that. But going back up here, we really shot a 6-hour movie. Now how? And he, the article does say joking. He jokes that they excitably churned out what would become a 6-hour movie. I don't know. Is there context to this? Is there any audio? I don't think so. So I don't know how he joked it, but yeah, we shot a 6-hour movie. I don't know. Was that Liam Neeson? I feel like that was more like. But is this movie 6 hours? No, it's definitely not going to be 6 hours. But the idea of the fact that there could be that much footage and that much content is exciting. It's very exciting that they kind of have a lot to choose from in a way. And I don't know, I wonder if, maybe is it a comment that is kind of taken out of context because of how long this shooting schedule ended up being, because they started, I forget, in February or something like that in 2020, and then had to stop in March, and then had to take a lot of time off, 8 months or whatever, and then get back into it. And so it's a very long process for him, and it's kind of drawn out because of all the extra precautions and all that stuff. So is it possible that a possibility that it was just kind of yeah, it feels like we filmed a 6-hour movie? Yeah, maybe. Siaka says, I will actually be disappointed now that a 6-hour JP movie doesn't exist. I could stand to be in that setting for 6 hours straight. Come on. Yeah, I tweeted at Colin Trevorrow and I was like, something like, give us the entire thing. Give us the whole thing. We need all 6 hours. We need all of it. And, you know, for a while, we had a lot of rumblings that maybe this movie was bigger than it is, or ended up being, in a way. That maybe this would have been 2 films instead of 1, but it kind of got smushed in to 1 film, which is possible. I like the idea of, you know, 2 movies. Maybe it's something that Universal was like, nah, I don't think so. Let's just do the 1, and then we'll figure it out after that. But that would be disappointing, because like if they had the opportunity to shoot 2 films in a way back to back, with 6 hours worth of content that we're going to piece together into 2 different films, that sounds amazing. And the fact that we would have all these characters for 2 more movies would be a blessing. How cool would that be? I mean, look, maybe there's the possibility that they surprise us. How cool would that be? How cool would that be? A surprise. Like, we go into the theaters on June 11th, 2022, right? Is that still the date? I have no idea. And we watch that movie, Jurassic World Dominion. We get to the end of the movie, and it's a cliffhanger. And we're like, what? And then it says, blah, 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 all their names will return for Jurassic World. A New Era. Or something like, has a new title. You know, how cool would that be? I mean, that sounds very, very implausible. And now that I said it, I'm kind of going to get my hopes up when the movie ends and then the credits roll and it does not say, these characters will return in 2023 for Jurassic World, A New Era, or something like that. I'm going to be kind of bummed now when that doesn't happen. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, and you know, you guys are saying, Joey here says the movie will probably be 3 hours. I don't ever think that this movie will be 6 hours. That's not the case. But 3 hours, honestly, I don't even think they're going to go that route. I would love that. I would think that's amazing if they went 3 hours. I loved sitting through Avengers Endgame several times. I think I watched it 3 times. So I have no issue with going and seeing a film 4 hours on end. 3 hours is perfectly fine with me. 4 hours, as Mango here says, I don't think that's ever going to be a possibility. But what it's going to end up being is probably 2.5. Like, they don't really, and that's going to be pushing it. They don't really like to do their whole long film thing or something like that. You know, it just doesn't really, I don't think it appeals to Universal for some reason. I don't know. You know, and if they could do the whole back-to-back movie thing, filming 2 movies at once, I'm sure they would have done it a long time ago with, like, Fast and Furious and stuff like that. But they film those all separately, you know? That's a series that you could just film them back-to-back or all together. All as one. But they don't do that. They film everything individually. So I don't imagine that they secretly have a second movie waiting for us. But 6 hours worth of content, that's a lot of content. If he's being accurate there in his description, I don't know. But yeah, and Siaka makes a good point saying, I think he likes to be hyperbolic. Oh my gosh, can't talk. Because he also called the Giganotosaurus the biggest dinosaur ever. Yeah, I mean, he went into that quote, we got something, a Giganotosaurus, whatever, it's the biggest dinosaur ever. Yeah, I feel like that's like his way of just being like, oh, this one that we have in this movie is the biggest thing you'll ever see in this series. Like, it's like a very narrowed way of like looking at it, I guess. But also we have to remember that like he said it, I think, in that interview or a different interview, like that he is not a paleontologist, so he does not understand these dinosaurs much in a way like me. I'm like, I don't know, and maybe it's the biggest one ever. Who knows? But I think that's kind of like the way he approached it, right? Like he was just like, yeah, it's like one of the biggest ones ever, right? It's huge. I'm just reading your comment now. Siaka, what if they shot a three hours of backlog footage to use in later movies? I mean, that's kind of, yeah. That's what I mean. Like, and Matea says Jurassic World Extinction. Mango. Yeah, you guys are saying literally exactly what I'm saying. Split the movie up into 2 parts. And that's what I was saying before, the fact that like there's been a lot of rumblings that this was potentially supposed to be 2 movies at one point, and then they just combined it into one. So if there's a chance, and I kind of hoped for the fact that they had some time with the pandemic to think about this movie and think about the way they were approaching it and say like, look, maybe we can turn this into a little bit more, because hey, we're gonna be off for a while. You're gonna be losing a lot of income. We're gonna have to pay a lot more money because we're gonna be off for 8 more months or whatever. So, you know, maybe let's recoup some of that money with a second film. let's do 2 in 1. You know, we'll get this out there. But budget-wise, it probably doesn't work out that way because, you know, I don't think the budget kind of works for 2 films, but who knows? Who knows? All right, you guys. I don't know what you guys are talking about in the chat here, but let's chill. But yeah, if this was split up into 2 parts, like Infinity War and Endgame, that would be awesome. That would be so cool. But I don't know. I just don't think we're gonna get that nice surprise like we're kind of hoping. But who knows? Who knows? That would be really cool though. Yeah, I don't want this to just be like 2 hours and 8 minutes. You know, that would be a real bummer to me. I want this to be an epic. You know, you've brought back all of these people, and we've talked about it time and time again on this live stream, on the podcast, that this movie is going to be so jam packed that how do you contain it all in one sitting? You know, how do you get there? And I have no idea. I have no idea how you fit every idea and wrap up everything, introduce all these characters, reintroduce them, bring up new characters, wrap up storylines. It just seems like a lot to do in one film. So it's a bummer that they never decided to go with 2, but maybe they did. How cool would that be? A nice surprise at the end. You know, I don't know. I feel like that kind of thing doesn't happen. But, you know, we do end up seeing that at the end of Marvel movies, like, you know, Captain America will return in Civil War or something, you know? Mateus says, maybe another short film that takes place either before or after Dominion. Yeah, I kind of wondered that as well, if there would be like a short setting up some of the stuff that we see in here. And Siaka says, well, didn't Frank say Dominion isn't a conclusion but a jumping off point for the new wave of JP movies? Yeah, he did. And this is so weird because, like, where was it? I should probably look that up. There was an article the other day, right? I think Colin Maybe the Hollywood Reporter one. And I was going to talk about this last week. I did not get the chance to do a live stream last week with you guys, but there was a comment. I don't know where it is. I don't know. Something about a little bit of like finality. If any of you guys know where that comment was from Colin Trevorrow, basically kind of saying like a conclusion or something like that. Yeah, I don't know where he had said it. If you guys know, let me know. I'll bring it up. But, you know, a while back, Frank Marshall said that this is going to be like a new era, right? He said that this is going to be the start of a lot of different stuff. And I don't know if he necessarily said movies, but he said, you know, content of some sort, right? So the franchise can, you know, continue on. You know, and as far as we know, there should be a TV series at some point, like a live action. Who knows what happens with the pandemic, if things are still on track for that. But I forget where that quote was. I remember seeing it. A lot of people were asking me to discuss it, but I don't see where that comment is. It doesn't look like it's in the Hollywood Reporter article, but there was a few, I think, within the past few weeks. I don't know. Gonna sit here silent with you guys as I look for an article. I don't know. But anyway, interesting that, you know, there could be a lot of footage here, or he's just being hyperbolic. Oh my God, I can't say that word. And he's just like saying, yeah, we shot like so much footage, like 6 hours worth of footage, it feels like. So I don't know. I just would love it to be a little bit more than what he's leading on to. And you know, sometimes these guys slip up. Like he certainly should not have mentioned the Giganotosaurus or whatever. You know, he should not have mentioned that. That happens from time to time. Sometimes actors like reveal that like they die in a movie when they're not supposed to say that kind of thing. He didn't say anything like that, but others have, and you know, others reveal stuff like Mark Ruffalo revealing, like, I think he revealed something about Infinity War, like that everybody dies and stuff like that. So, and then what's his name? Tom Holland's pretty bad at that. So maybe there's a chance he revealed something here he wasn't supposed to, but I don't know. I think it's probably not anything there, but. And I'm just seeing here that he wrapped Apple's upcoming Invasion series in New Jersey, and I'm like, all right, when was he here? When was he here near me? Because I didn't see him anywhere. That makes me bummed that he was here. But anyway. Let me see what you guys are saying before we wrap up here. Mango says, I think that Dominion, though, is a good end for movies. Dinosaurs get set on the mainland. Maybe after Dominion, they will focus on spin-offs like Camp Cretaceous. Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think after this, I imagine that there'll be a lot of, like, solo films and stuff like that. Siaka says, certain actors for Dominion may have almost explicitly spoiled their character death. Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. It was a while ago, too. A while ago. I feel like that was mentioned a while back, and I was like, oh, that wasn't very... Like, you didn't really dance around that very much. I feel like you tried, but... No, you didn't. It literally... There's nothing else to infer from those comments other than, oh, it's probably it for that character. But who knows? Who knows? Jurassic Souls. You want Alan to give Maisie his hat? What, like the end of Crystal Skull? Here you go. Here you go, kid. Here's your hat. Come on over. I'll give you a hat. John here says, Brad, this is the article of Colin. I don't... Where is it? I don't see it. Did you send it? Where was it from? Just mention where is it from. Where was the article that I'm trying to find, but I can't find? But yeah, I don't know why I can't find that article. It was definitely something along the lines of like a finale or something like that. Joey says, I could see it being a 2-part movie. Didn't Chris Pratt have a 4-movie contract? I have no idea. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Entertainment Weekly. Okay, yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right. Let me see if I can find that. Entertainment Weekly. That's right. I was like, what is this other website? It wasn't coming up under Google for like recent articles. All right, so here we go. This was from January 19th. Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right, so this article, let me bring this up for you guys, so you can see it here. EW, coming up here in just a second. There you go. So down this way, it says, last year, Trevorrow returned to the set of Dominion, the third and final installment of the Jurassic World trilogy, to face his own insurmountable circumstance, filming a movie during a global pandemic. Is there any more concrete information there outside of what this writer is assuming? So he was interested in JA working on a middle chapter, so maybe they inferred from that. Finish what we started. This film is, it's a celebration of the whole franchise. All right, so here's the quote. Here it is. To me, let me just move it up above Robert Downey Jr. To me, Dominion is a culmination of one story that's been told. When you get to the end of Jurassic Park trilogy, it may not have been as clear in what the complete story of those 3 movies was, because they were a bit more episodic in the way that they were approached. But this trilogy is not that way. It's very much serialized story, What was important for me was when you watch Dominion, you really feel like you were learning how much of a story that first set of movies was, and how everything that happened in those movies actually informs what ultimately is able to happen in this. If kids who are born today are going to be presented with 6 Jurassic Park movies, you hope the parents will buy them the box set. You're hoping they're gonna watch, get the feeling like they're watching one long story. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. That is very interesting. I don't know how to take it. I mean, I read this before, but like, how do you... I don't know. Let me look something else up while I'm here. See, I gotta like save everything. Oh, here's our website. Let me just see. Okay, so we wrote up an article based off of a chat in a Forbes article. Let's see. Here's the Forbes article that we were talking about. I think Siaka mentioned it. Scott Mendelson wrote this. Let's see. Wait, this is not. Wait, maybe this is not the one that I wanted. Where did it go? Oh, okay, here it is. Jurassic World Dominion will be the start of a new era, says Frank Marshall. So Frank Marshall affirmed that Jurassic World Dominion is not being planned as the conclusion of the franchise. It's the start of a new era. He said after an effusive no when asked if Jurassic World 3 was being envisioned as an endpoint. He said, the dinosaurs are now on the mainland amongst us, and they will be there for quite some time. Why can't this highlight? And I hope, he added, alluding to the future story set in a new normal world where humans have to share the globe alongside dinosaurs. So this is like, oh my God, it is so... This is from May 2020. But this is like, I like that, you know, new normal is in quotes, because he's definitely alluding to, whoever wrote this, let's see, Adam Chitwood, alluding to the fact that, like, new normal, we've all been experiencing a new normal with COVID, right? Where we have to, you know, a world where humans have to share the globe alongside COVID. So I feel like there's a lot of, you know, talk about that. So these ongoing stories will be those stories. But how did these two interviews kind of connect here? I don't know, because Frank Marshall, producer, is saying is definitely not the end point. Colin Trevorrow's definitely saying this is a culmination. So I think there's going to be a closing out of Jurassic in a way. Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, that kind of thing. I don't think we're ever going to go see a park anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if we never go back to an island again. At least not Nublar. I think the time has expired for Isla Nublar, Isla Sorna. And I think that's the culmination, right? I think the culmination is we got to the end of this Jurassic Park story. The first trilogy didn't really make a lot of sense. It wasn't really connected. Some similar characters, some similar places, but they were very different. But now with these movies, there's a lot more context. We're able to fill in some of those gaps, you know, plug in the holes and complete the codes. Whew. To make those movies seem a little bit more connected. So this is a 6-film story culminating with the ending maybe of some of these characters that we know from the beginning, from the first film, kind of telling where they end up, how things resolve, so that by the time, you know, Frank Marshall's new era comes around. It's the start of a new era, he says. We're not hinged on islands and theme parks and Dr. Wu and, InGen and all that stuff. Nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares. You're not going to get characters that are connected to the park, I don't think. It'll be brand new characters that have nothing to do with these dinosaurs. Didn't train them, didn't oversee a theme park. They weren't the first people to ever interact with them in a theme park setting like the Grants and Ellies and Ians and stuff like that. Like, they weren't those people, so these are all new people. It's the start of a new era where we have new stories to tell. And sure, it kind of is an extension of that story because you wouldn't be here without that, right? You wouldn't be in this new era with dinosaurs for everybody around the globe without Jurassic Park. But I think that's what they mean. I think this is, the story of Jurassic Park, I think, is done after this movie. And it's kind of sad. Kind of sad. But, yeah, I don't know. That's why I want it to be 2 films and not just 1. Make it straight up 6 hours. I don't care. Jurassic Edge says, would you watch a Jurassic Park spin-off Walking with Dinosaurs type style documentary where they focus on just dinosaurs? Yes, 100%. I've said that before, actually. Whether it was on the show or on here, I don't know. But I've definitely said that before where I think that would be awesome. Where it's just a story about these interactions of what dinosaurs maybe and this could and I know that big tangent that I went on about Jurassic Park dying and all that stuff and never telling those stories again. But of course there's always other ways to continue those stories, whether it's a TV show set during an active Jurassic World from 2005 to 2015, or a documentary showing how these dinosaurs lived from 1997 onwards, once the world was aware that dinosaurs were real and Ian Malcolm was telling the truth this whole time. Imagine that they sent a real documentary crew out there, and Nick Van Owen was at the forefront of it. He's like, I want to take my little handheld camera out there and just film and kind of lay down. But yeah, imagine if that took place, and that would be awesome to see dinosaurs alive on Sorna, or maybe even make it like and I know those movies are kind of outdated at this point, it feels like, but like a handheld kind of documentary captured footage kind of thing where you're not necessarily getting a ton of character development and stuff like that, but it's just like something like that could be kind of cool if it was a documentary that kind of went sour. But technically they don't have anything to do with the island and all that stuff. So, there are still ways to tell those stories, but as far as what Colin means, I think that's what he means, Macaulay, you missed most of it. Yes, we are. And I said this at the start that I didn't intend to go 2 hours and 40 minutes, but we are at 2 hours and 13 minutes, and we are still here. I do these typically Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. So 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's typically when I do it. So yeah. And Siaka says, heck yeah, I'd watch Cloverfield, but Jurassic. Absolutely. I mean, that would be incredible. You don't have to focus on people all that much. You just try to, showcase a group or somebody like experiencing these and interacting with these circumstances. But, not really like an ongoing story kind of thing. I think that could be kind of cool. But, yeah, I don't know. I would definitely like to open this conversation up about this new era versus the end of the saga. thing. Maybe I'll script out a video one day and upload something sometime soon. That would be kind of fun. I would definitely like to tackle that because it's interesting to look at. And I think I don't think there's any right answer. And I think when it comes to what these people are saying, you have to remember, like Colin, Frank Marshall, Sam Neill, all these people are just like you guys. They're just like us. And they just say things. They just make stuff up. They just got asked the question off the cuff. And they said, yeah, I don't know. It feels like a culmination to me. It's a culmination featuring one of the biggest dinosaurs you've ever seen in your life for 6 straight hours. Probably, I think, right? And then you have Jeff Goldblum's out there like, yeah, I don't, this is probably the greatest film ever made. Who knows? With the biggest dinosaurs and the longest story you've ever seen. That's how it always starts. And later you're 6 hours into a theater. I don't know. Well, that's about it, guys. I appreciate everybody stopping by for 2 hours or so. Anyway, make sure to go to JurassicParkPodcast.com. Follow us all over social media. JurassicParkPod at gmail.com is our email. I don't know why I said that. That's not what I meant to say. At Jurassic Park Pod on Twitter. At Jurassic Park Podcast over on Instagram. Follow us over there. Be sure to follow us on Instagram. We have less followers over there. For some reason, it's like very staggered. We have a lot here, a little less on Twitter, and a little less on Instagram, and then like nobody on Facebook. So go follow us on all those different platforms. Make sure to download the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, anywhere you want to listen to the podcast. And make sure to subscribe here. Hit the bell, whatever. Is there bells? I think there's bells, notification bells. Hit those things. Hit the like button. Smash it, I guess. Is that what people say? Do they still say that? Smash? I don't know. Smash it if you want. Comment below. Comment on the side. Comment wherever you want. I hope you guys like this video. Whoa. Wow. This is what we do here, guys. We talk Jurassic. So if you liked what you saw here tonight, make sure to listen to the podcast. But I appreciate each and every person out there watching us tonight. It always makes me feel special that you guys are tuning in and watching for however long. I can't imagine what you're doing that you decided to take 2 hours of your time to watch this here. So I really appreciate that. But thank you again, guys. It's been fun. I'll see you guys later. Make sure to stay safe out there, of course, and enjoy. Peace out.